Oh, we back. Like I said, we streaming and we dreaming, baby. Speaking of dreams, this stream right here is going to be on goals that most people claim are impossible. I got a question in the chat for you. What's a goal that's impossible to reach, but you'll attempt it anyway? I'm excited to hear y'all answers, man. I'm excited to hear y'all talk about impossible goals because there's some goals out there that you'll set that sometimes, hold up, let's take it back two steps. Even though a goal you set may be impossible to reach, it may still be a good idea to go for it. And why is that? Why is that a thing? A lot of times I'll set a goal that may be beyond anything that I could ever do just to get the best out of myself. So the question I have for y'all, and I truly do have for y'all, is what goal have you set that may be out of your reach, but because you attempted it, you got the best out of yourself. You got further than you ever thought you could get. I want to hear about that goal, if you got it. But anyway, I'm going to talk about mine, man. I set a goal out to, man. My purpose is to make the world a better place than what I found it in general, right? Which is almost like trying to save the world, which is probably impossible to set out a goal to change the world. That to most people sounds unreachable. But does that mean I shouldn't try it? To me, I think it's important, man. I think that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of setting goals that may not be able to be achieved, but trying to achieve them, get the best out of yourself. That's a goal I'm willing to set. I think it was Martin Luther King that said, you don't have to see the staircase to take the first step. Most of us look at the end product, and that's all our eyes are set on to. A lot of times, myself included, like, imagine if it's the vision. It's the vision. And sometimes we get caught up on it a little too much. We get to this point where if it doesn't look like the end game, we stop doing what we need to do to even get there because it's overwhelming. I was actually at one point in my life an alcoholic, and I had to go get help, man. And when you would go to these places, these meetings or whatever, you would think about it like they would tell you, they did this for 30 years. They've been clean for 30 years off of alcohol. And I was like, how the hell am I going to do that? I would look at it like, I got to do this for the rest of my life. Sheesh. I don't think I can do that if I look at it that way. And that's the truth. If I look at the whole thing, I can't do it. It just feels impossible. Doesn't mean I'm not going to try, but at that moment it feels impossible. But to make it more digestible, which I'm 7 years in, no alcohol, kudos to me. I pat myself on the back for that. But to make it something that was a digestible goal or a digestible vision, I had to break that down to days. Now, I may not see myself being alcohol free or whatever free for a whole lifetime, but I think I had to chop the goal down to something that was digestible. Like, how about instead of being alcohol free my whole life, how about alcohol free for this week? And that was even hard for me. So let me switch it to, instead of a week, how about a day? I would go a day. Sometimes that was, believe it or not, too much. So I was like, you know what, instead of a day, how about an hour? How about break this 24 hours down to 1 hour. And if that seemed too much, how about 10 minutes? How about 10 seconds? Look, a lot of times it's not the goal that it's not the end goal that we need to, try to acquire. It's the action steps. We need to break it down into something that's more digestible. The end goal may not be the outcome of your actions, but the action steps to it will get you further along than square one or square zero. Shit, you lose everything you don't attempt. Got to shoot the shot somehow. Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing, man? Got somebody on the 1028 podcast, some people on my Facebook. If you're on here, say hello. And definitely, if you want, go in the comments section and put in there a goal that you think is inaccomplishable, but doesn't mean you wouldn't try to do it. I would love to hear your answer. Love to see your answer. How about that? All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to get back into it. Let me see. Say what's up, y'all, if y'all on here. So don't be a creep. All right. So anyway, so there's goals that I've set in my life that I probably will never amount to. I'll never reach. But the reason I set them is because, and set them so high and unachievable, is to get the best out of myself. That's just it. Certain things like I'm going to treat everyone I can with the same respect that I want them to treat me, right? That's a good goal to set. But there's some people that just don't deserve you treating them with respect because they don't respect you. But you shouldn't allow that for you not to set the goal. Don't allow that to stop you from setting the goal. What someone else eat doesn't make you shit. I believe Jay-Z said that, and it was one of the most profound bars I ever heard, right? I'm not going to set a goal to appease you, because my goal is for me, not for you. It's for me. And a lot of times we look at it like, I want to do this, but this person's a problem. I want to do this, but what is this person going to think? Man, forget all that. Forget all that. If your problems are attached to someone else, every time you have a problem, if someone else is attached to the problem, I hate to break it down to you. You're not looking at the root of the problem to actually find the solution, because if someone, and that was a big problem for me going through life. I always said it was this person is why I can't do this. It was this person that made me upset. Well, if I'm looking at that person to find my solution, I'm not going to find it, because it's my actions that deter that person's interaction with me to cause the static. Like if I can't go over there, I can kill it from the source. The source is me. So that's where I need to look at for the answer. The answer is not outside your body, bro. Everybody's looking like, oh, if I go over there, I can get the answer. The answer ain't out there. It ain't out there. It's inside of you. It's inside of me. That's what I had to find out. All of the questions I had about this world, all of the problems I had, I'm trying to find the answer outside of myself, and they were never out there. That was just a waste of time. I had to literally look on the inside, because my actions is the source of the problem. Anything that happens to you, bro and ladies, is your fault, good or bad. And I'm not saying it like no, I am saying it. You're the problem and the solution. Certain things happen because of places you're going to be, man. Certain things are going to happen because you were in an area. You were in this situation, that whatever. Okay, cool. That's the common thing. The common thing is problems happen. The uncommon thing is what are your reactions to the problem. because that's where that in that moment in that area is where the key is. That's where the key's at. That's where the key is at to unlock the door to peace. And people talk about peace, man. I want peace. I want this. I need my peace. Peace only comes after war. There's a battle. That's the only way you're going to ever get peace. It's not going to be given to you. People mistake quiet, something being silent, with peace. That's not the definition. You could be suffering in silence. Silence is not peace. Silence is no action. Peace is an action word. It is a choice. It is not something that's going to just happen. It has to be fought. You have to fight for it. So I want a peaceful life. That's my goal. My goal is to have peace in this life. Well, that means I have to travel through the chaos and silence. And well, this is where silence the noise. But it won't have, I don't want to just turn it off. I want it to be, I want the peace to be sustainable. So there has to be different things in play to make that happen. That's a goal. That could be unaccomplishable, but it's necessary. Hey, how's it going, guys? How y'all doing, man? If you're on the chat, say hello. And don't forget to definitely answer the question in the comments section. Hello. Let me get out of that. And for those that are watching, first time watching, I want to welcome you to the podcast about nothing with your boy Corey Ochai. And don't look at the word nothing and be alarmed, because your nothing could be something to someone. So this is a place where we communicate. We talk about any and everything. Throw something in the chat, say hello, throw a question in there, throw a topic that you want to talk about, whatever it may be. Throw it in there. We'll say hello, man, and we'll talk about it. That's what we're doing here. And I'll see you back in about 10 seconds. Yeah, we're back, baby. We're back in the house. So I'm right now getting on the chat on Facebook to see if anybody's in there. Wanted to say hello to somebody if they in there. So the topic conversation is the only thing perfect is imperfection. How about that? Only thing perfect is imperfection. We are striving. If you're striving for perfection, perfection is the enemy to productivity. But it also is the key to motivation for me, at least. You know, I know perfection is the goal that is unaccomplishable, that I tend to, how can I say this? Not just admire, I tend to stalk perfection. When I look at something and it is the best version of the thing I've ever seen, of whatever that is that I've seen, I'm intrigued. I'm almost diabolical when it comes down to my obsession with it. You know what I mean? I admire it. I admire the best of the best of something, of anything. It could be the best rock in the world, the smoothest rock that you ever seen. It could be the best diamond that's ever been discovered. It can be the best architectural building that exists. I want to know how they did it. It's intriguing to me. And sometimes I think it's to a fault, because I'm very competitive, right? I see something and they say good artists borrow, great artists steal. You know why they say that? Let me tell you why. Because as an artist, there's nothing under the sun that you can do that is new. Besides being yourself. And hopefully that's not too new to you, but that's besides, like, there's nothing under the sun that's new. So everything that you create as an artist, when it comes down to your figurative drawings or your whatever it may be, it's been done before. So a lot of times to get to a new level of artistry, what you do is you go and you check out other people's art and say, you know what, they did it, I can do that as well. And when I say steal, I don't mean copy exactly what they did, but I mean take something that they did and put it into what you're doing. That's a great book too. I haven't got a chance to dig all the way into it, but I will. And I am getting a call that I can't take online right now. So if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna give this 30 seconds. All right, we came back a little earlier than expected, man. We are back at it, man. And once again, this is the podcast About Nothing with your boy Corey Ochai, and I'm happy to answer any questions, any comments that you guys have. If you are on here, say hello. And if you see the question in the comments section, please answer that, man. I would love to see what you guys' perspective is on this. Yes, this is that podcast or stream. You know what? We streaming and dreaming. Speaking about perfection, the reason I'm creating all these podcasts, for those that have been watching all throughout the day, I've been knocking these things down. It's my third one of the day. And everybody's like, why do you keep dropping these things? I'm going to tell you why. I said I admire perfection. I know it can't be reached, but perfection to me is the best of the best that I've ever seen, right? That's the thing. If I seen the best building, I admire it. I see the best artwork that I've ever seen in my life, I admire it. I consider that perfection because it's the best I've ever seen. So it takes it's to me, I can learn something from it. When it comes to this streaming thing, the reason I'm doing so many of them is because this is a product that we want to offer here at a TT Studios. That's where I'm at now. It's a product we want to offer. And people are going to come and purchase this service. So who would I be to offer a service to somebody that I didn't work out all the bugs? I didn't work out how to get the audio sounding right, how to get the visuals right, how to chop and edit this so they can go from this camera to this camera, right? How to be empathetic to the feelings and emotions they would have before they go live. How can I coach them to get the best out of themselves? How can I do that if I didn't put the reps in and do it myself? So that's the reason I keep dropping these episodes and making it happen continuously. I'm gonna keep coming too. Pause. But I'm gonna keep going. I'm sorry. They pulled a mace on you right there, Mason Cam. But I'm gonna keep going and keep doing these streams and until I can get the best out of it. Now my goal was to, speaking of goals and unachievable goals, my goal was to drop 10 of these streams this week. This is the 11th one. But when I first set that goal, I knew that was going to be a lot of work. I knew that may be unachievable, but even if I don't achieve the goal, I'll be able to understand more about this process of streaming in it. So that was the goal I set. That was my unachievable goal for the week that I set. And actually I achieved it. But in that process, even if I didn't, I would know more about this streaming than I would if I didn't do it at all. I just offered it to the public. I'm not trying to learn in the fire. That's not what I'm trying to do. I want to learn. I want to learn something new when people come here and do this, not what I should already know. You don't go to Hershey and buy chocolate, and they selling chocolate, but they don't know how to make it. But they're gonna make it on the fly and give it to you. You think that product's gonna be good? No, no. So if I want to offer this service to the world, who would I be if I didn't actually understand it and know it? Now, I do know podcasting. That's something I do, right? I've recorded podcasts and had people come in, record them, edit the video, and so forth, and then give them the finished product. That's something I understand. But when it comes to this podcasting, streaming live, interacting with the community live, that's a whole different monster, man. And if we're going to offer that product, I better know the ins and outs of how to do this. And that's why I keep dropping them one after the other. When I get a thought outside in my day, I take notes. And then I come back on here and I talk about them. And I talk it out. And this is actually pretty therapeutic. And it's teaching me how to be more comfortable, not just on camera, but be more open and authentic. Because I know my situations, let me finish that thought first. My situations in my life and how I kind of deal with them are a little bit unfamiliar to the masses. And people tend to say I kind of go through problems a specific way that helps them. So if I can continue to do that in my life and be open about it, like with you, and bring you in to my day-to-day, my thought process, I think it's, I said one of my unaccomplishable goals is to save the world. If I can do it this way, if I can make the world a better place this way, by being open and presenting my thought process to you, and you can take something from it and make your tomorrows better than your yesterdays, then I'm doing my part, man. I'm doing my part. This is my little piece of my existence that hopefully can make your existence a more pleasant experience. And me doing that and you doing that for you means I accomplished the goal in a certain sense. I'm not trying to say, I can't save the world if I can't save one person. So hopefully by every time you click on anything that comes up on my page, by the time you get done watching it, you're a better person than you were before you clicked it. If I can get you to do that, then I win. And it's not me competing against you, it's me competing against myself. Tomorrow, I have to be better than I am today. So if you can take something that I do and actually make yourself better, then that means there's one more person on the list of the world. If there was a list of everybody's name, you'd be one less person on that list. And I'd be one more person closer to making this place a better place. So that's how I think about it. That's how I move. That's the goal, bro. That's the goal. All right, let me refresh this thing. All right. Let me know if we still streaming out there, man. I think I went offline for a second. There we go. We're back. See, that's one of the situations I'm talking about. I'm happy I was able to navigate that and thought we was out of there. I thought this stream was done. All right, guys, man. I would say this is the last time you're going to see me today, but that'd probably be a lie. Because I really am enjoying this whole streaming process, this streaming experience. I haven't gotten a lot of people to come on here and to conversate with me and communicate with me, but that's okay. Because if I continue to keep going at it, if if I continue to keep knocking these things down and showing up, which is 90% of the battle, people will find. I'll find the people that are supposed to be hearing what I'm talking about. I'm not worried about it at the moment. And when they come, I pause. When they arrive, when they arrive, it be the right people. Hopefully, this ain't gonna resonate with everybody. What I'm talking about, I don't want it to either, because it wouldn't be. If you make something for everybody, you're really making something for nobody. So what I found out a way to not do that, to be authentic, is that not to care too much of who's on the other side of this watching. I got to care about what I want to present and who I am, and get that off my chest. Because they say what you reveal, you heal. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm here to talk. I'm here to communicate. The common problem, the common denominator with most problems in this world that no one really seems to pay attention to, the one thing that's connected to everything is communication. A lot of time, any problem that you ever thought of, that you ever had in your life, check this out. Think about it. Communication was involved. And I'm not talking about verbal all the time. Sometimes it's communication with yourself. I don't have the words to explain to myself how I feel. So how am I going to be able to solve the problem? 90% of understanding the problem is identifying the words to explain what it is. And the 10% is the action. That's actually the small part. But it is also the biggest part, is the action. Because we can know a problem. I know a lot of shit. But the things I do because of what I know is the difference of any outcome of any action I have, man. It's crazy. Life's a mental gymnastics, bro. A lot of times it's a simple thing, and it's so hard to do the simple stuff because we think everything's complicated. It's hard to do this. It's hard to do that. If that's the case, everything is hard. Pause. Man, they really messed the game up with the pause game. Because now that I'm talking, every time I speak at something, I feel like homophobic a little bit sometimes when it comes out. I don't know why. But anyway, man, if you on here and why don't you come and say hello, speak, talk that talk, leave a comment, press the like button, press subscribe if this resonates with you. If it doesn't, that's cool too. But we out here, we on here. We doing what it do. And I need another topic. This is a podcast about nothing. But sometimes I need something to talk about. So if you got any comments, you got anything that's on your mind, you want to answer the question that's in the chat, please feel free to. And once again, yeah, we don't got a goose egg on the viewership right now either, man. So it is kind of popping a little bit. I may share this with another group. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share this with another group. But if you are on here, why don't you share this as well? If you're watching on Facebook, press the share button. Get your people involved in this conversation, man. Let's make this thing grow. Let's be intentional about it. That's a lot of times you could think of something and you'd be like, oh, I know this is what I need to do, but when the moment comes up, we just let it go past us, right? It's one thing to think about, it's another thing to hold on to that thought and be intentional, wait for that moment to happen so you can deploy it. Like that's a whole different skill that I'm figuring out myself. Let's share this to a group. Beautiful sights of Sharpsburg. Let's share this on there. So if you are watching, if you are listening, if this is bringing you value, share it. Share it. That's the reason I'm trying to share my thoughts on the web. in life in general, talk to the masses in one sitting using this system. A teacher. Let's talk that, because school just started, so let's talk about lessons and teachers, right? To teach something, you have to understand it to the point where you can explain it, and someone that is even someone that's 5 years old can get it. Einstein said that. He said, you don't know physics, you don't know that science if you can't explain it to someone who's 5 years old. You don't understand it enough. When you share something, when you teach someone something that you know, how effective it is will be how much you understand it. It's a wild thing. But none of us are perfect. The only thing perfect in this world is imperfection, but there is one thing that anybody that's watching this is perfect at. There's one thing that anybody who's watching this, I can promise you, you're perfect at. And I got this from Steve Harvey, and it was a profound thing. You have 100% success rating. 100%. Surviving every crappy day that you ever been through. You're perfect at that. No one can say you're not perfect. If you're watching this, you're actually perfect at something. And that's surviving every crappy day. So if there is something in your life right now that's going on and you feel like you can't get through it, your existence proves you wrong. I don't have to tell you you're going to get through it. The fact that you made it this far doesn't mean that your success rating will probably continue to go forward, and you will be fine. It's a wild thing, man, when you think about it. And say hello. I see that whoever this person is has been on for a while. They're on the 1028 podcast. I want to say hi to you, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you on here. And if you are on here, it is probably important to try to answer that question in the chat. What's a goal that's impossible to reach, but you'll attempt it anyway? Do you have one? If you don't have one, can you think of one? Even if it's not 100% sure, try to pop it in there. All right. What's today? Today is Friday. Guess what I got going on tomorrow? Let's go there. Tomorrow I got a whole production to do, man. Anybody in Pittsburgh area heard of Needs Hotel? If you have, give me a thumbs up. Well, they're reopening. There's a new owner, and they're rebranding. So they need somebody to help them tell their story, to draw out the stories from the old patrons as well as the stories from the new owner, and create a video that shows who they are, or who they were, what Needs Hotel was, where it's at now, and where it's going to be continue to go. Hey, what's going on? We got another viewer on here from the Facebook group. How you doing? Obviously, you know who I am, and I obviously know who you are, and we appreciate you being on here. Say hello. Well, anyway, I was hired by them to not just do the production, but to sit down with some of the old patrons and talk about, what Needs Hotel was, which was like a co-working space / hotel for artists back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, or maybe the 80s and 90s. It's not in the greatest condition now, but there's a new owner that moved into the space, and they've seen that I work with podcasting. I'm pretty good at communicating with people and getting them to talk about stories that are enlightening about their past. So they hired me, and a friend of mine's, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So that's probably why I'm probably going to cut this down, cut it short, and go on to look at the questions that they give me and break it down to accomplish this goal tomorrow. To not just record this the most beautiful way possible, but also get the stories that we need from the sit downs, which takes work, man. Communication is not easy. It's not something that's natural either. I think everybody can be effective, but to be effective to a point where it's looked at as, I think everybody can be efficient with communication. That's the word I want to use, efficient. But not everyone can be, everyone can be effective, but most people aren't effective when it comes to it. And that takes, I think, other skills, right? That's the difference between high school and a PhD in it, right? There's other things that go into the foundation of it to be effective. There's volume. Most people don't understand that language and speaking are two different things. And that's kind of weird when you think about it. But when it comes to speaking, those are words to communicate. Language can be body language, right? It could be volume. It could be so many different things. A lot of speaking is not verbal. I think only 20% of it is. The other 80% is everything else, right? How you choose to speak of them. What strategy are you using to extract the information to create a progressive conversation? That's a whole different monster. Podcasting isn't just sitting someone down and talking to them about like a list of questions that you have. You have to listen. It's one thing to hear them. It's another thing to actually listen. Full body. That's a full body experience when you listen to someone. But that's where we're at, man. That's where we're at. That's the thing. And I think, truthfully, I'm probably on my way out of this one. It was another great sit down. This is what this is about. We're getting the reps in. My goal was to do 10 streams this week. I think we hit 11, and I'm grateful for that. Hey, what's going on? I got somebody else just hopped on. How you guys doing? Hopefully you're having an amazing day. And if you are on here, say hello, man. Press the like button. But my goal was to hit 11 streams this week. I think, 10 streams. I'm at 11. Trying to go for really 15 now. I moved the goalpost on the goals. And in that process, I'll discover more about this stream, and I'll find out how to make it more efficient, how to add music, how to do reaction videos with you guys that are watching, and we can sit down and communicate, talk, and learn. The goal is to make sure you leave this sit down better than what you found it. And that's the purpose. That's the vision. That's what's going to happen. So have a great day. Enjoy this beautiful day. Even if it's raining, it's still beautiful. And remember, your stuff dreams are made out of. So go do what you do, and don't just do it. Do it well, goddammit. Do it well. Hello. And we are out. Have a great day.